Welcome to Comrade Media's cultural program in Pursuit of Roots. Today, the episode is titled Mahodayapuram Kodungalloor. Our esteemed Professor Dr. Mohan Varughese, Mahodayapuram Kodungalloor. It's connected with our previous episode. The era is almost same.
Era is different. The Mahodayapuram era is different from the earlier era. That is the first Chera is the time of...
So, the first Chera extinct.
Extinct, yeah.
Then, the Mahodayapuram and Kodungalloor connected with the second Chera.
Yes.
Advent of second Chera dynasty.
Absolutely.
The second Chera is not Kutuvans.
First Chera, people used to call, that is the poets used to call the king,
Kuttuvan.
Kuttuvan. Different names.
In the previous episode, you mentioned about it. Yeah. And therefore, I asked these second Cheras, have they any...
They are called Perumals.
Oh.
They are called Perumal.
Oh, Perumal.
Kulasekara Perumal.
I learnt Perumal. Yeah. The Cheraman Perumal.
Cheraman Perumal, yes. I know that
then we want to know about Kulasekara dynasty.
Kulasekaran, they are called Kulasekarans.
They are same.
They are called, they may not be same, an original Chera dynasty who lived in a far off place, was brought back to Mahodayapuram, brought back to Vanchi and took over. See, first Chera empire ended by 3rd century.
3rd century
AD.
That we mentioned.
After that, there was a dark era of roughly around...
Blank.
We don't know what exactly was the administrative pattern. We have hardly any information about who ruled Kerala in the 5th and 6th and 7th century AD.
3 centuries.
Yeah, there was no centralized, uniform administrative pattern during that period. And then comes a whole gamut of relationship, the landscape, the power equations, the caste, everything changed.
For these 3 centuries, Kerala or this part did not exist, you mean?
Due to a natural calamity about which we discussed, like Parashuram Mayu.
I remember that. On previous episode, I asked you how Parashuraman came in this and created Kerala. Even before that, Kerala existed, you too.
Yeah, even before that, the land existed.
This extincted or the Kerala, part of Kerala merged.
The topography changed, the people's composition
the
changed.
Eruption of new soil.
Yeah, new soil.
That is the second formation of Kerala.
Second formation of Kerala.
Oh, now it is clear.
New townships came. Kollam was not dominant during the first Chera empire. It was always Muchiri and Vanchi. And also Bokkare and Purakad, all these places. But Kollam came up in a big way by 8th century, 9th century. Kolla Varsham started in AD 825. Kollam Kerala era.
Now only the idea became clear.
Then the new townships, the new empire, the new rulers, with new setup called the Venad came. First Chera time there was no Venad.
Simple.
Venad came.
Simple way we can Kerala happened a rebirth. Underwent something like a rebirth. Now it is clear.
Okay. It is a rebirth, a rejuvenated, refreshed, and power-packed Kerala.
Okay. Not only rural is extinct, the land itself.
Not only Chera part, Pandyan changed, Cholan changed, Cheran changed into a new power-packed package. And that is the time when the city of Vanchi came to be known as Tiruvanchikulam and Mahodayapuram, Mahadevar Pattanam, Makothai. Because it was Makothai, the Cherans were called Kotha. Ko means king. Kotha is the ruling class. Makota, big ruling class. And they came.
Okay.
They became Kshatriyaized.
Ah.
Not that they are Kshatriya, they were treated as Kshatriyas.
I used to think Mahodayapuram is connected with Mahadevan. Paramashivan.
Yes, it is Mahadevan, Paramashivan, certainly. But it is not, the root is this. Mahodayapuram is Mahadevar Pattanam.
Mahadevar
Pattanam, it is
itself.
Pattanam.
Oh.
Mahadevar Pattanam, Mahadevar is Paramashivan.
Paramashivan.
And Shaivik Hinduism came. Vaishnava Hinduism came. Buddhism, Jainism was on the way out.
So,
but still continued for a while.
Do you mean Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas and Shaivas were in conflict? Both Hindus.
It was two strands. Vaishnavas, it was an era of, the time of Mahodayapuram is unique for the presence of Shaivik shrines and Vaishnava shrines coexisted. There was a movement called Bhakti Movement. In which poets, singers, some of them are rulers also. These people, Sundara Murti Nayanar. Nayanar is a Shaivik bard.
Nothing to do with E.K. Nayanar?
Not. Nayanar could have been inheriting the name Nayanar from this long saga of these Nayanars. Possible.
Caste name?
It's a caste name. It's a Nayar, Pilla, Nayanar,
like
Nambiyar, all are a similar kind of caste in a new social order. We were talking about a transitional time when the Nayar, the term Nayar itself did not prevail in 8th and 9th century. It came much later. In the 13th century, 12th or 13th century document, temple document, we see Nayari, the Nayar the term.
Nice.
Before that, Nayar is there, but not documented. But this Nayanar, Sundaramurti Nayanar, who is the Vaishnava, say Nayanar is a Shaivik priest. Priest come, singer, come the writer, poet, that is Nayanar. Shaivik. Vaishnavas are called the Alvar. Kulashekara Alvar. See, both Kulashekara kings were both Shaivik and Vaishnava. Some of them were Shaivik, some of them were Vaishnavites also.
They were not in conflict.
They were not exactly in conflict. It changed from Shaiva to Vaishnava, Vaishnava to Shaiva. Of course, some of the Shaiva shrines, turned out to be
without any clash.
Without much of a clash. But the clash was between this Buddhism and Shaivism. Jainism and Vaishnavism. It was actually, it is believed, based on a number of inferences, that Shaivik Hinduism is the offshoot of the earlier existence of Pashupataya Matam, Kalamukha sect, and that became the Shaivik sect, which later became Hindu. Okay? And then the Jains became Vaishnavas.
Jains became
Vaishnavas. Which became Vaishnavas. Jain temples became Vaishnava abodes.
Buddhists became
both, Shaivas and Vaishnavas.
Not exactly Shaivas.
Not exactly Shaivas.
One thing more.
Vaishnavas are definitely the present day Vaishnava, and earlier Jains came from the same root. I mean the socio-cultural root.
And I heard all the religions can be, the origin of all religions, almost all religions can be traced back to this place.
It can be traced back to the same place called Mahodayapuram in Kerala.
It is true.
Almost true.
The origin of all religions.
Origin of all formal religions in Kerala have its first roots deeply planted in the soil of Mahodayapuram. Originally Vanchi, the first church. If St. Thomas had come to Kerala,
St. Thomas,
he would have established the first church in Kodungalloor. That is the Vanchi, the olden day Vanchi. That time it was not called Kodungalloor, it was called Vanchi. And the first ever Jewish place of worship also was Vanchi. in Kodungalloor.
Synagogue, is it?
Synagogue.
Synagogue also.
Even in BC,
Ah.
right from King Solomon's time of 1000 BC, Jews would have come.
Ah.
And also with the destruction of the tower, with the end of Babylonian captivity, BC 536 or so, lots of Jews came to East.
Ah.
Most of them ideally could have settled down in Muchiri Pattanam. That would have been a sleepy little place at that time. Later, it could be the Jewish presence and the Mediterranean people developed it into a trading hub, ideally positioning as a hub of trade in spices with Mediterranean region, West Asia, North Africa and Southern Europe. That's called the Mediterranean region. So this became the spice hub, Muziris. This place called Vanchi, later called Mahodayapuram, is the capital. Original Chera capital. The second Chera capital also was Mahodayapuram.
So the mosque, synagogue, church.
Most synagogue, church and temple.
Temple, sir. I was about to ask it.
Jain temple.
Jain temple.
Trikunavaya. That is the Trikana Matilagam. That is a Jain place of worship. It could be Aramam. Aramam is a place where it's good for meditation. Plenty of trees and open places and it was serene atmosphere.
Serene atmosphere.
This Aramam, the Jain abode, the Buddhist Aramam, Jain Aramam, were all places of worship and meditation. That is, Trikana Madilagam was especially a Jain worship center.
This Aramam is originally Malayalam word or?
Ideally it should be Pali. Pali, Buddhist Aramam. It could be Sanskritized later. I don't know the etymological root of Aramam.
And Viharam also.
Viharam also is Buddhist.
Buddha Viharam.
Viharam, place where Buddhists frequent. Viharam.
They haunt.
Yeah, they go, they spend time, they live very close to nature. That is why Jains were the ones who would be leaving every creature alone. The snake. They would leave the snake alone and carve. The concept of carve where wood, the not so useful wood like teak and rosewood is avoided. And other wood items allowed to grow in kava for preservation of nature. Seemingly non-useful trees, seemingly non-useful animals and creatures and serpents like snake.
Serpents.
Sarpa kava.
Snake shrine.
Snake shrines. It's all a Jain Buddhist tradition, which was incorporated into the Hindu fold later on through Shaivik Hinduism, Vaishnava Hinduism, and all that. So that place called Mahodayapuram and Mahadevarpattanam is known for the origin of Buddhism, not origin, but the growth of Buddhism and Jainism in South India. That is the reason why Manimekhala deals with the flourishing Buddhist time in which Vanchi finds a mention. And before Manimekhala came Chilapadhigaram, in which it was a Jain center. Mahodayapuram is a Jain center at that time. At that time it was called Vanchi. There was the Vanchi Kandam. It starts from the central character in Chilapadhigaram. That is Kannaki. Kovilan's wife, Kannagi, is the one who is the ideal woman. So morality became a huge factor. Family, commitment of the wife to the husband became an obsession. And Kannaki is the original Pattini. Pattini
embodiment of
virtues. It is from the Pattini cult in Chilapadhigaram. The first is the Kandham, they are called dividing. In the Chola land, in Kaveri Pumpattanam, there is Puhar Kandham, Madurai, there is the Pandya land, Madurai Kandham, and then comes the Vanchi Kandham. Vanchi Kandham is the one in which it comes to an end, and this lady, Kannaki, the embodiment of virtues, was elevated to the higher plane, committed suicide.
Deified.
Yeah. She is made in the form of a statue, and the statue, an idol, Pattini idol, was placed by Cheran Chenkuttuvan. That is the storyline of Chilappadikaram. And later, that is the Pattini cult is on. And Pattini cult resulted in the formation of Amma, the concept of Amma, Bhagavati, Amman Kovil, okay, Bhagavati temples. It was originally the Kottavai, the war goddess, a woman, war goddess. Kali, Durga, Kottavai, Amma, Amman, and Bhagavati can all be coming into the same pattern the womanhood celebrated. The power of woman deities.
Deities.
Came in different ways, came through different routes, converged into one holy concept called Amma. So that is that
Amma,
also
Amman Kovil.
Amma, Bhagavati temples.
Got a proposition of a protecting mother.
Yeah, that also this this area called Kodungalloor. Kodungalloor, you must have heard about Parani.
I heard about that the obscene songs using bad words.
That is called Kodungalloor Parani, in which the obscene songs and obscene dance forms where ladies would remove the upper half of the torso and then they would dance very provocatively. It was a move to chase away the Buddhists and the Jains from the Hindu abodes.
This was the root cause.
At the time of Shankaracharya, AD 788 to 820, that is the time of Shankaracharya. He was instrumental in Hindu revivalism. At that time, he engaged in verbal duel, debates with Buddhists and Jains, defeated them in the debates, and a bedrock was firmly planted for Hinduism to grow. So that was a time when Buddhist shrines were gradually getting converted to Hindu shrines. Vaikam Mahadeva Kshetram, Kudal Manikam, Jain temple, and Kodungalloor temple.
Vaikam temple was Buddhist.
Originally Buddhist. Ochira temple, Karunagapalli.
Originally Jain or Buddhist?
Mostly Buddhist, and Kudal Manikam was Jain. These temples became Hindu. But some Jains refused to move out of their holy shrines. To chase them away, some Kittakalcha, Parani, huge figures, Teyyam Thira, all these figures were, Teyyam came up late. But you know, the Kittakalcha, Kudurei, made of big leaves or cloth or whatever, with splashing of red color, deep colors, would chase away with the teeth jutting out, would be chasing away the Buddhists and the Jains. And when they refused to move, then they would be abused by mocking, ridiculing, abusing, by using obscene language. So this is called the Parani. Thiripata, Puram. Originally these Puram and all are Buddhist festivals. Yedunallate, Arate, Gaja Pradichanam, Kappal, Rathayatra, all these things were all Twajam. That is the flag. Everything was Buddhist. So this Buddhist era is replaced by Hinduism. So Mucharipat, this is Mahodayapuram, witnessed a transition from Buddhist Jain period into a Hindu era. That is why culturally Muziris, that is Mahodayapuram and Kodungalloor, became a hub of cultural activities. All religions can trace their roots to Mahadevar Pattanam, ruled by Makothai, Mahodaya Cheran, who were called not Kuttuvan but Perumal, Kulashekara Perumal.
But later that significance Mahodayapuram lost. Kodungalloor also
Kodungalloor has gone into the annals of history in AD 1300 and odd, when 341-42. That was a period when river Periyar, had huge flow of water, floods. Due to heavy floods, the course of Periyar shifted southwards.
Dodged.
The slur and residue, dirt, accumulated and destroyed a culture. More than 1,500 years of flourishing civilization around Muchuri, completely destroyed, and the place is decimated. That is why the later construction in Pattanam, when houses are constructed, cracks develop, because that is the place, original course where Periyar was flowing. The basement would not be strong. So that is why that area. Then came a new township called Kochi. Puduvaip. A new era, Vaipin Island, Puduvaip, Kochi. Kochi became the port. And Kodungalloor lost the status of the port.
So the destruction of Mahodayapuram happened only due to a natural calamity.
It was Cheran was the disintegrating. Chera Empire lost out by the 100 years war with the Chola, and after that Cheran eventually won. But the might of Chera Empire gone, and the vassals and small areas got independence, and came the era of Swarupam.
Then came
again Swarupam, small areas. The land changed, the rulership changed. Cheran lost. Cheran in between changed the capital from Mahodayapuram to Kollam. They came further down south because Kollam became hub of activity. So that is the time when Cheran was losing out, the trade was coming down, and Calicut was gradually developing under Samudri. So all these things resulted in the number one city in South India lost. That is the story of Mahodayapuram.
Only after that, the new cities.
For last 700 years, nothing much is heard about Kodungalloor. Now Kodungalloor is just another township in Kerala. Nothing in particular, but excavations are now taking place in Pattanam, close to Kodungalloor. It is near Paravur Kodungalloor belt. To trace the olden days.
The excavation still goes on.
Excavation is going on. Yes.
So thank you, sir.
Yes.
New information we are getting.
Delighted to be here with you.
Very thankful.
Yeah.
So
hope this kind of material will be.
Many thanks for listening. To
hope this kind of material will be useful for the civil service aspirants and people who are
students
preparing for the test competitive examination. Thank you very much.